You know, in the world of true crime, there are some cases that, well, they're more than just mysteries. They become these massive, enduring obsessions. And today, we're going to dive into one of the biggest ones out there, the disappearance of Maura Murray. Picture this, February 9th, 2004. It's a quiet, kind of deserted road, and there's an empty car. The keys left behind. I mean, these are the bare-bones facts of a case that, for 2 decades now, has given us way more questions than answers. And that really brings us to the central question, right? The one that's at the heart of this whole thing. How does a person just vanish? I mean, really, think about it. In just a few minutes, on a road where there were other people around, poof, gone. All right, so let's get into it. We're going to start by looking at the vanishing on Route 112, and specifically those critical minutes, because really the timeline is everything in this case. Okay, so look at this timeline. It is so tight. At 7:27 p.m., her car crashes. A few minutes later, a local bus driver actually stops and talks to her. But then, by 7:46 p.m., just 19 minutes later, police get there and she's gone. We're talking about a window of less than 20 minutes. It's impossibly short amount of time to just disappear off the face of the earth. And the scene itself, it just makes things even weirder. The car was locked, the airbags had gone off, but get this, there were 0 footprints in the snow around the car, none. No sign of a struggle, nothing. It was this bizarrely clean, almost pristine scene, which is what makes it so unsettling. So to really get a handle on this mystery, I think we have to understand the person at the center of it all. So let's talk about it. Who was Maura Murray? Well, first off, she was a 21-year-old nursing student at UMass Amherst. This wasn't someone, living off the grid or on the fringes of society. She was this promising student at a big university, and it seemed like she had her whole life right there in front of her. And everyone who knew her said the same things. She was super smart, a gifted athlete, a track star actually, and just really ambitious. And when you put that person together, this driven, intelligent young woman, it just makes what happened next all the more jarring and hard to understand. Okay, now this is where the story takes a turn, where the enigma really deepens. Because the final 24 hours before that crash, they are filled with some truly bizarre, puzzling actions. So let's just walk through this. First, she emails her professors. She tells them there's a family emergency, which her family later confirmed there wasn't. Then she starts packing up her dorm room. Not just a bag, but like packing her belongings into boxes. She hits up an ATM, pulls out some cash, and then just starts driving north in her dad's car. I mean, you look at all that together, that doesn't sound like someone planning a quick weekend trip, right? It almost looks like someone planning to leave for good. The big question is, why? In that cash withdrawal, it was exactly $280. It's one of the only really concrete details we have in this sea of unknowns. It's not a ton of money, but it's specific. So what was it for? A couple nights in a motel and some gas? Or was it just every last dollar she could get her hands on? It's just one of those frustratingly small details that we've all been obsessing over for years. So, okay, we have this strange scene, this puzzling behavior. Why did the trail go cold so fast? Well, the investigation was up against it from the very beginning. Let's talk about the challenges. Okay, this right here is one of the biggest head-scratchers of the whole case. That bus driver who stopped, Maura told him, "I've already called AAA." But here's the thing. Cell service in that area was basically non-existent. And AAA, they had absolutely no record of a call. So what was going on? Was she just trying to get the guy to leave her alone? Or maybe she was disoriented from the crash. It's this critical contradiction that nobody's ever been able to solve. And you have to remember, the conditions were just a total nightmare for investigators. We're talking about an isolated rural crash site. It's freezing cold, which makes searching incredibly difficult. And there was a bit of a delay before the official search really got going. But probably the most telling clue, or lack of one, came from the search dogs. They picked up her scent, followed it for about 100 yards down the road, and then it just stopped. Dead. So what does that mean when a scent trail just ends like that on a road? Well, it points to one dominant theory that's been around since the beginning. She got into a car. But see, that doesn't really answer anything, does it? It just opens up a whole new can of worms. Did she get in with someone she knew? Or was she forced into a car by a stranger? Now, this case happened right at a fascinating time. It could have just been a sad local tragedy, But its timing, happening right as the internet was really taking off, turned it into something completely different. It became one of the first and biggest mysteries of the internet era. And that's really why this case feels so modern, even 2 decades later. Her story just exploded on early internet forums. You had people from all over the world becoming these digital sleuths, trying to crowdsource clues and piece things together from their computers. It was a total phenomenon, and it's continued with podcasts and documentaries ever since. But this whole online sleuthing thing, it's really a double-edged sword. On the one hand, all that public interest has been amazing for keeping Maura's story alive. People have never forgotten her. But the flip side, it's led to just rampant speculation, tons of misinformation, and that has put an unbelievable emotional weight on her family. So, where does that leave us today? Well, after all this time, after all the searching, the podcasts, the theories, the case is basically right where it started. It is still open, and it is still completely unsolved. Authorities are still considering everything: foul play, a planned escape to start a new life, a tragic accident in the woods. Literally every possibility is still on the table. And that's the question, isn't it? The one that just haunts this entire story. Will the enigma of Maura Murray ever be solved? With no body, no confession, not a single piece of definitive evidence, you have to wonder if we'll ever truly know what happened on that dark New Hampshire road all those years ago.